7:50 p.m. I've finished. It might actually be later than that, but when I checked, that's what the time was. Yeah, but I've got quite a few notes that I wanted to. I wanted to talk about the stopwatch, stopwatch time I've screenshotted, and the laps in particular. So I'm gonna go through that now in the form of a voiceover. All right, let's do this. I'm about ready to go to sleep, so I'm gonna make this quick. Very basically, the first lap, it was me just sitting down. That's what I timed, and the second one was of me walking. The third one was of me jogging, and the fourth one was of me doing the main parts of the sessions. The pull-ups, the dips, a couple of reps for the squats, and yeah, that was it. Hence got 1 hour time as planned, or more like 1 hour 10, but I'm completely fine with that. I think I liked how this session went, but in terms of my efforts, but I think I should have gone in the morning, really. That way I wouldn't have been in people's way when doing that my exercise, and people wouldn't have been in my way. So I could take that on board, and I can also take on pacing too with pull-ups and not just the dips, because it seemed to help. Thinking of doing one set of 5 reps as 2 reps, then 2 reps, then 1 rep, instead of just doing a 5, which I might think of as daunting. That was the word that came to mind at the moment. That might imply that I don't actually want to do it, because I see it as this massive task, this expectation. Maybe I'm putting too much of an expectation on myself, more than I'd want, and hence I find it difficult to do these sorts of things that I plan. But I'm gonna move on now from doing 5 reps a set with pull-ups to 6. Take it from there and further develop and improve my form through doing more reps, give myself more experience, basically. And then from there I'll be able to figure it out. I've looked at my pull-up footage a little bit anyway, and it looked like I could have been using my back more. Maybe I should have leant back a bit more, and it looked like maybe I was pulling myself a bit. Maybe my elbows weren't flared as much as I would have liked, because I didn't really feel it in my back much, for one, and 2, I could see my form as to why that could be the case, because I wasn't flaring my elbows as much as I could have, and as much as I thought I was, honestly. But you can always work on such things on the premise I show up, I have an aim, I have these aims, and I follow through with them in an appropriate environment. And I don't think, with the way how it was so active, that it was as appropriate as it could have been, because these goals are personal goals. It's not for socializing. This session was not for me to be in a social environment. I'm definitely not against it, but I'm aiming to go out my way to be partially self-centered by having my own personal goals I stick to, and being a part of a community as well, and working out with people too, through the lens of exercise, that is, in terms of being more selfless and being more immersed within the community that I want to be a part of. And in order to do that, I have to have my own personal goals too, which is what this session was for. But most of the workouts, if not all of the workouts, have actually just been me not working out as a part of a group, even though I have done that in the past with gym classes. I didn't mean to start there like that, but anyway, with the gym classes that I've done where I used to live. I haven't done that recently though, even though I've seen places where I could. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna leave it there. I'm done. I said I'm on the verge of a headache. I definitely will use 1080p 60 frames per second now, because of storage. It's way less. 35 minutes of footage is like 5 gigabytes rather than 10. So it's gonna make it, even though it will take a few hours to upload, not as long as the 4K 60 frames per second. But yeah, that's it. I'm finished. So cheers to cheers to video editing progress that I'm making here. If I want to make 4K 60 frames per second videos, I can, but for the best of both worlds in terms of upload schedule, it doesn't get in the way of sleep at least as much as 4K 60 frames per second videos would, because of when I'd upload. And also for quality, I think that's the best of both worlds, 1080p 60 frames per second rather than 480p 30 frames per second, and rather than 4K 60 frames per second. But yeah, that's it, I'm finished. I sense I'm on the verge of a headache, so I'm gonna stop talking. I like how the session went, but I just would have preferred if I would have done it at a different time pace. Alright, that's it. Cheers to one of many amazing sessions I'd like to have. Well, cheers to this session, cheers to having many more sessions like them.